A few years ago, I discovered a positive correlation between having places in my life where people know me and my happiness. I call those places stations. So the more stations I have in life, the happier I am. So what is a station? A station is going into your local coffee shop and having the barista know your name. It's going to a restaurant and having the waiter know your name. It's having friends that you can stop by at their house, or running into someone you know at the grocery store, or going to church and having people recognize you and want to shake your hand. In order for those things to happen, you have to have positive interactions over time, which is one of the definitions of friendship. So a few years ago, I started intentionally trying to build up my community. And so when I would go to a place that I knew I was going to probably visit a lot in the future, I would say, "Hi, my name's Eric. What's your name?" It seems simple enough, but you do it and then you try to remember it and say it. Eventually, they learn your name too, and then you can start to, the next time you're there, start to ask deeper questions like, "How are you doing? How was your weekend?" And then as time goes on, you can get deeper and deeper, as deep as you want to go. You get to the point where you say, "Hey, that's rough. If you want to talk about it, maybe we can go talk about it somewhere else." And then you take that relationship from that place and you move it some other place. So maybe you start off by talking to someone at church, but then over time talking to them at church, you say, "Hey, maybe sometime we should go get coffee together." And then you go get to coffee together. And then you can even start to combine these things. When you have someone that you know, that you're bringing to a place where you know someone else, you can introduce to people and say, "Hey, this is my friend. I'd like you to meet this person." So being a connector helps other people be happy as well, because it's not just your happiness, it's their happiness too. You are knowing them, they are knowing you. It's reciprocal. So part of happiness is, or part of community let's call it community happiness. So part of community happiness is knowing and being known. If you're old enough to remember the show Cheers, you know that when Norm walks into the bar, everyone yells, "Norm!" And there's been a couple of times in my life that that's happened in real life, and it is an awesome feeling. You walk into a room and everybody goes, "Eric, yeah!" They're like genuinely excited to see you. Everyone in the room is flipping out. It's only happened like twice in my life, but I remember it vividly. And if you've ever gotten married, you know you're walking down the line, or you've gone to a wedding and there's this receiving line and you're walking out and everybody's shaking your hand. After intentionally building up the community for years, one time I was just walking out of church, like I needed to go to the bathroom or something. And I'm just walking out of church like, "Oh, let me sneak out here." Left after right, people kept sticking out their hand and saying, "Hey, Eric, hey, Eric, hey, Eric." It was like a freaking receiving line. I was like, wow, I did it. I created community. This is amazing. I'm so happy right now. There's lots of ways to become happy or have moments of happiness or be fulfilled in life, but community is one of them. It's beyond happiness too. It's about your life. Like literally. Like you'll live longer if you have better relationships with people. If you have people that care whether or not you're alive or dead, and they genuinely like recognize you and care about whether you exist. If you walk into a place and you're just nobody, and you go home and you're alone and you never interact with anyone, something happens on the physiological level and you just don't live as long as someone who's an active part of the community where people actually care that you are there or not. So when I was young, my dad used to told me one time, "If you want to have friends, be a friend." And so I've tried to be friends with people, and because of that, I have friends as an adult, and I even make new friends. It takes effort. It takes being the one to reach out and ask. But I have asked people, and they don't always do stuff, but they have told me, "I appreciate you asking," because not everybody asks. And if you want to go into the world of dating, like there's girls that just don't even get asked out. If you go into sales, people don't get the sale because they're not asking for the sale. Like asking is such a huge thing. I know it's not really what we're talking about, but it's a human thing, right? Like even God says, ask for things, ask me for things, right? Humans want to help other people. They want to be with each other. We're community oriented people. It's very much like if you take a bee out of its hive and just leave it alone, it's going to die, right? The bees need the other bees to survive. Humans need other humans to survive. If you leave the population, you won't die on day one, but like eventually you will, right? Everybody needs each other. So it's not just the physiological, it's also the emotional. In summary, stations in life, I have found that the more of them you have, the happier you are. And the way to cultivate stations is to reach out to people and build up your community over time.